Hi and welcome to the video brought to you by turbocamaro.ca. This is Ian and I'm going to be showing you how to set up your Holley Sniper system for boost. It can do boost, it does boost out of the box, it just doesn't do it very well. All that's required for you to make this a boost machine is to set it up in the software. It didn't come like that. The software didn't come out right away with the system, but now that it's out and it's been out for a while, it's fairly easy to use. Anybody here that has a laptop or a desktop computer with a card reader should have no problem being able to figure this out. So I'm going to try to walk you through this the best I can. What I've done is I pulled the SD card out of my unit. I brought it into my house, put the SD card in my laptop, and I've opened a configuration file. You can pretty much do it with any of the base configuration files. You could start a new one if you want to. I just don't care to go through and re-enter all my things. Sure, you can go and you can import and all these things, but I prefer to work with one I know works already and then modify that one. And that's what I've got here. So it's a working configuration file, but without any modifications to make it good for boost and proper timing. So that's what we're after now. So as you can see here, I've already got it configured to do PSI instead of the normal map configuration. So I check this box and now have PSI on the side instead. So you can see that's why it tops out at 16 instead of 220 or whatever it was before. So I prefer that. Now, as you can see, the problem with this fuel table is that it goes to negative 13 or 13 inches of vacuum all the way here to there where it switches over to 0. That's where it switches to boost on the base table. And really switching to boost this far up gives you very, very little amount of configuration room. So there's 0.7 pounds of boost, not even 1. And then boom, there's 8.3. And then there's 16. Like there's not a lot of window right in here to configure for boost. And that is the problem. It does work up to 16 pounds of boost, which is great. But are you getting a lot of differential here on these numbers as far as volumetric efficiency or any kind of air-fuel ratio? No. So this is the problem. So we want to fix this. For me personally, this could be different for you. I need to go to about 12 pounds of boost. 16 will probably never be seen by my straight 6. It's very possible on your vehicle. 16 is way more likely. So I'm going to limit it. I'm going to put this to 12. Just type in 12, no problem. Now, where do we want the switch over from vacuum to boost to occur? I personally like it somewhere in this area here, kind of closer to the middle, but just above maybe. So we'll say about here. There is 0, so there's our switch. Now, this software is pretty smart. It actually went ahead and did a differential between this one and the next one, that it's already there. Unfortunately, as you can see, these are the worst numbers ever and aren't going to help us. So in order to go ahead and make this a smoother transition from 0 to 12, you can manually type them in one at a time if you want, or you can click on the 0 and then hold down your shift key and click on the 12. That'll select all of the cells in this column between 0 and 12. Then right click and fill column values. As you can see, it did a nice smooth transition all the way up. I personally would have preferred a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 12, but that's fine. So that's fine. So we're at 0 here now at the bottom at 13.8. That's fine too. Let's just make it an even number, 14.0. Perfect. 14.0, you can click, hold down shift and click the 0 and fill column values. And now look at that. We get a nice smooth transition all the way down there. Now, of course, this base table was designed for the old numbers, but learning of this software will correct it over time. So that's fine. So now the other thing goes is 8,000 RPM over here, quite a bit out of range for me. I'm going to go with 6,500 RPM. Now what does that do? Same idea. It gives us a bunch of 6,000s up here, but for the most part, we just really want to click it and we want to get it to fill the row. So as you can see here, it's now giving me a nice smooth transition all the way to 6,500 rather than 8,000. All right, so now we're gonna get into the target air-fuel ratio. First thing to do is just make sure your simple setup here, the idle, cruise, and wide open throttle are all what you expect them to be. Keep in mind now we're working with a 12 PSI maximum for wide open throttle. So you wanna tune it to be the most it can be. Wide open throttle, I've done at 12.4, which kind of makes sense. And cruise, I probably actually could go a little bit below that. And now cruise, 13.4, that sounds great. And idle at 14. So, that 14.1, 14.0 is pretty good. Cruise, again, and this is going to vary per person, right? Everybody's system is going to be different. But for me, but you know what my vehicle is capable of, this makes sense. So I'm happy with this. Now that we've got that set up basically how we want it, go to 2D table, and now you can see this funky colored thing here. Now, keep in mind it's a smaller table, but it is taking into consideration the numbers that we've used on the base fuel table. So you can see it's done the 0 about near the middle, just above the middle. It's got 12 as the max and negative 14 inches of vacuum as the lowest. So that's great. What I don't like about this is basically where the transition occurs. I also don't care for the lack of smoothness. And you can see here with the graph, this is not a smooth graph. I mean by smooth, when you look at the wire lines here, they're not swooping or slowly drifting. They're literally just hard edged, and that's really not the best. And also, like I said, the transition point isn't the greatest. The 0 was up here somewhere, so it made sense. But now that I've moved 0, it's not the best. So 0 occurs between these two numbers right here, but the transition going down in air-fuel ratio, or getting richer, is actually occurring up here, and that's really not the best. So it's kind of tricky. This is something you could do manually if you don't have the capability with the mouse or keyboard to move things around. I personally prefer to do things a bit more, I guess, automatically. So I'm going to copy this whole row and move it down to where I want it to start transition down to a richer setting. So I actually want this green to actually be here, and then what we're going to do is just take this whole setup here, well, especially here. Let's go like this. And I'm just going to paste it in place here. So that's sort of what I want. I actually prefer to keep this in that range. I mean, you have to consider the reality of some of this, right? There's no way that my vehicle is going to be in 12 pounds of boost almost ever, but even if it was, it certainly isn't going to be at 5 to 900 RPM. Like, that's essentially the only way that happens is if I hit a telephone pole, and that's not the greatest, but I'm not going to care too much about if I'm running too rich at that point. Better to be too rich than, than not in this case. But you can see this is kind of what I want to see. So let's look in the middle here, 3,300 RPM, so mid-range. Accelerating at this point, considering probably getting into boost around this point, give or take. And we'll say around here, so going down from 13.4 to 12.8 really isn't that bad. And then I get into 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds of boost, going to 12.1, just like we did it for our wide open throttle. That's pretty good. What I recommend now is going to the graph and getting a good look at what you're looking at here. And this might be confusing for some people. You can see the PSI is high on this side and the RPM down here. And I'm just going to smooth the whole thing, probably just once. And you can even see just one click of that. And now all of a sudden our little valleys and things here are smoothed out. If you go back now to the actual table, you can see the color changes are more gradual. Everything looks a bit smoother. Overall, I'm pretty happy with that. If I wanted to be picky, I could come in here and smooth it all one more time. And now take a look. It's very smooth. Kind of looks like that fuel graph table if you looked at that at all. But this thing is pretty smooth, similar idea. And under the graph here, it has the same kind of a smooth slope. All right, so now bring yourself over to the base timing table. It's just under this here. And what you're going to find is the same kind of idea as the AFR. You want to do your idle, your cruise, and your wide open throttle timing. I've got my idle at 15. I actually want to go to 18. Cruise at 36, which is great. And wide open throttle, you want to tune this for what we did earlier, which is 12 pounds of boost. So the difference between 36 will be 24. That's 36 minus 12. Is 24. Now you may want to do more or less timing depending on your setup. That's fine. I like this, so we're going with that. Once you're done with that, you can go to 2D table, and now we don't really care for the axis. So the PSI on the side here goes to 16 still on this table. We need to fix that like we did the fuel table. So it made it easy for us to hit the copy fuel axis button, and now we've got the same 12 PSI to 14 inches of vacuum all the way to 6,500 RPM like we've configured earlier. It's fantastic. So now we don't really care for, this is our divider line between PSI and vacuum. We don't really care for having 36 degrees of timing in all this boosted area. It's not really what we want to do. So we need to configure this properly. So what I like to do is very simply highlight from the 0 line right to the top corner. And then when you right click that area and you fill selected values, what that does is create a nice blend from 36 all the way to the 24 that we selected. So now it's 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, all the way to 24, and it's got a nice transition for all the degrees of boost. I don't really care for this area so much. Technically, yes, you could select this and do the same thing. And now it's smooth too. It looks nice, but does it matter? Not really. Are we really ever going to go into 8 pounds of boost at like 700 RPM? Unlikely. Again, unless you hit a tree or something like that. I do want to see a blend from 18 to 36. This random 27 line, as much as it's nice to see for kind of division, it's just really not useful for us. So let's go ahead and take a blend here. We'll say from 36 down to the 2100 line mark down to say 1100. So highlight it in there, same idea, fill selected, and it blends them over. It's not a super awesome blend, but it's definitely not bad. You could still go a little bit more. We'll fill again. There we go. See, that's not bad. Now if you take this graph and we move into the take this and go into the graph, we'll take a look at it, and you can see, yeah, it's pretty chunky looking. However, it's what we want, but we're going to smooth it anyway. I found 2 clicks of smooth seem to work for me. I like the way this looks. I'm happy with this. This is kind of unnecessary up here. It looks off to me. I feel like I should be filling it in with something green, but again, it's really more about the diagonal line that you're going to worry about, and up in here and down into here, and those are really where you're going to be operating. Very rare would you get up high RPM, high boost, or low RPM, high boost like this, so this is fine. Going down, last thing you might want to look at, cranking timing. I like 7. And it's just nice to be able to go that low for starting. A nice easy start for the car, and then it pops into 18 when it's done. Great. And then these other ones are just basically going to be timing versus coolant and things. You can make all kinds of other adjustments, but that's for another video. I go ahead and save this, and then you can turn around and upload it to your EFI system, and you're good to go. This is all you need to know to get your system operating at a pretty good range for being able to do some really fine tuning. This should get you going. So any questions, feel free to shoot them through the YouTube comments section. Otherwise, you can go to turbochargedcamaro@gmail.com or through our website at turbocamaro.ca. Thank you very much for watching.